Did he say? Kawali. Guys, I just want to say thank you for coming to support my upcoming comedians. And you know what they say, and we are a work in progress. Rome wasn't built in a day, it was built at night. Thank you for coming. You know, AIDS and HIV have ravaged our country. So I remember one time there was a school of thought that came up with a solution. And that solution was manipulation of the genitals. And definitely that's the dictionary definition of masturbation. So, I know this one guy, and he's like, he calls himself a serial self-service man. Yeah? He's a serial self-service man. Every opportunity that he gets is self-service. One time he tells me of a story. He says, hey, I'm a player. Like, damn, you're always working with your hands. How can you be a player? And he says, right now, I'm dating Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters. Yeah? Imagine that. Mrs. Palmer and her 5 daughters. And the funny thing about masturbation, something we used to do in school, apparently it makes your hands hairy. Can I have a show of hands, please? And you know another thing about this friend of mine that I talked about earlier? Of course, he was called Andrew. So we had the little boy's name for him. Handy, the handyman. Self-service, my bad. So anyway, one day, Mr. Handy is doing his morning glory self-service. One is in the middle. He's doing all these styles, and wonder when it comes to self-service, how you can do styles. He's turning from one side to the other, bending over and what, and the door just comes. And his mother walks in. He's like, wait, what are we saying? Hey! And I think it just comes to that point. You know that point? You know that point that I'm talking about? And he's like, hey! So like, and then, you know, my crazy mind, I started wondering, why is it in Zimbabwe you don't have people coming like to film all these vampire movies? Why don't they do that? We've got great infrastructure, we've got great scenery, so we're a perfect place, you know, Makuwa, we're a perfect place for a vampire movie. And then it hits me all of a sudden, oh, damn, vampires, they mostly feed on the blood of virgins. So I guess it's in the wouldn't work, huh? The one time, I'm reading the H Metro, our favorite newspaper, and there's a headline, Zoe is a sex therapist. And the interesting thing about the last word therapist, I just found out this past week that you can actually break it down into 2 words, the and rapist. It's interesting stuff, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm reading the paper. Zoe is a sex therapist. While I'm reading, my wife is looking over my shoulder. And you know how people change nyayas in midstream? We're looking at it, Zoe sex therapist, Johnny. And then one day, go Jenny, like, see, because there is some bedroom. Like, you will? Go Jenny, you go show me some bedroom. So we don't say bedroom. And they were thinking, man, she wants to put up a pole in the bedroom. Speaking of marriage, you get there and everybody rushes and they come blast, trigger say on us, and you've never seen this guy in your life before. And he's there, blast, trigger say. So anyway, my car had dropped one of my air caps. Like, and you know what? Say so, and I replaced the hubcap. And she goes, come down, like, no problem, baby. I don't want to come down. Johnson, we are going to come down. Oh, Dara, you did it, Dara. Maybe I'm going to come down. I'm going to like, I'm going to choose it on Dara. Never I come down. big mistake. Give $15. Yeah, I know it's alright. But moment, good brother. Then I'm waiting and doing the rest of the I'm so like, yeah, we didn't negotiate. This is like playing daylight robbery. Anyway, no problem. Start my car, boom, go home. I get home, let me watch my beauty while I admire my new acquisition. Polish. First wheel. Polish, second wheel. Polish, third wheel. I go to the fourth one. Huh? No hubcaps. This guy sold me my own hubcap. So apparently when they were crawling around, some guy was taking off the hubcap from the back wheel, and here it is, better. Pretty good. Imagine that. Huh? Anyway, as life goes on, we meet people here and there. I met this one girl. She had beautiful shiny eyes. Until I realized, hey, it's me flashing my torch in her eyes, huh? Guys, I just want to thank you so much for this evening. You're a great crowd. Guys.